At 50 years old, Janny Lorson believed her hardest days were behind her. She worked quietly as a library assistant, surrounded by books, silence, and routine. Her life was simple. She lived in a small house she had bought with years of hard work. It was not a luxury home, but it was hers. Every wall, every corner earned with patience and sacrifice. Before continue the story, please like and subscribe my YouTube channel. Now, let's start the story. 10 years earlier, her husband, James, an Army officer, had died in service. His death left a deep wound that never fully healed. But Janny stayed strong for one reason: her son, Randy. Randy was her world. After James' death, Janny became both mother and father. She worked extra shifts, she skipped rest, she saved every dollar so Randy could study well and have a better future. For many years, Randy was a good boy, but everything changed when he entered university. New friends came into his life, friends who liked fast money, bad habits, and easy shortcuts. Slowly, Randy changed. He became angry, impatient, and greedy. He argued with his mother. He disrespected her rules. He wanted more than an honest life. Worst of all, he wanted the house. He often told Janny to sell it. "We can make big money," Randy said. "We can invest," he said. "Why are you living like this?" he asked. But Janny always said no. "That house is my safety," she replied. "I worked for it. It is not for illegal things." Randy hated that answer. Arguments became common. Silence followed anger. The house felt heavy with tension. Then one day, everything changed again. Randy suddenly became calm. He stopped going out late. He stopped arguing. He started helping around the house. Every morning, he made tea for his mother. "Drink this," he said kindly. "It's good for your health." Janny felt something she hadn't felt in a long time: relief. She thought her prayers had been answered. She believed her son had finally changed. For the first time in years, the house felt peaceful. But peace can be dangerous when it comes too suddenly. A few weeks later, Janny started feeling strange. She felt tired even after sleeping. Her head felt heavy. Her hands sometimes shook. She forgot small things: where she placed her keys, what day it was, what book she read last night. At work, she felt dizzy between shelves. Doctors said it was stress, age, they said, loneliness, they said. Janny accepted it. After all, she was getting older. But one thing didn't make sense. Her condition got worse only after drinking the tea. Every morning, Randy brought it himself. Every morning, he watched her drink it. If she delayed, he reminded her. "Don't forget your tea," he said with a smile. Sometimes the tea tasted a little bitter. Janny noticed, but ignored it. She trusted her son. Why wouldn't she? He had changed. He was caring. He was finally acting like a good son. Or so it seemed. One evening, Janny felt so weak she almost fell while standing. Randy rushed to help her. "Sit down," he said calmly. "You need rest." His voice sounded gentle, but his eyes were different. They were watching her closely. That night, Janny woke up suddenly. The house was quiet. Too quiet. She felt a strange fear in her chest. From her bedroom door, she saw Randy standing in the hallway holding his phone, staring at her room. When he noticed she was awake, he smiled. "Couldn't sleep. Go back to rest." Janny nodded, but her heart beat fast. The next morning, her health felt worse than ever. Her hands shook as she held the teacup. Randy watched silently. "Drink slowly," he said. Janny took a sip. A cold feeling passed through her body. She didn't know it yet, but her life was slowly being taken away, one cup at a time. She believed she was safe. She believed her son had changed. And that belief was about to become the biggest mistake of her life. Janny often thought about the past while sitting alone in the library. Between tall shelves and quiet corners, memories followed her like shadows. After James died, life became very hard. The house felt empty, nights felt longer. Janny cried in silence so Randy would not see her pain. She promised herself one thing. No matter how difficult life became, her son would never feel alone. She worked extra hours at the library. She accepted every shift she could get. She saved small amounts of money for years. Slowly, carefully, she bought the house where they lived now. That house was not just walls and a roof. It was her sacrifice. It was proof that she survived. When Randy was young, he understood that. He helped her, he respected her, he listened. But as he grew older, something inside him changed. University life opened a new world for Randy. New friends, new ideas, and new desires. He started comparing his life with others. Some of his friends had cars, expensive clothes, and easy money. They talked about fast success. They laughed at slow work. Randy began feeling ashamed of his simple life. He stopped talking about his studies. He stopped coming home early. When Janny asked questions, he became angry. "You don't understand today's world," he said once. "You live in the past." Janny tried to stay calm. She reminded him of his father. She reminded him of values. She reminded him that wrong money always brings wrong results. Randy listened, but his eyes were already somewhere else. Then came the house. Randy started talking about selling it again and again. "We can buy something bigger later," he said. "We can invest and double the money," he said. But Janny knew better. She had seen life. She knew shortcuts often end in loss. She said no, every time. That made Randy angry. Sometimes he shouted, sometimes he stayed silent for days. Sometimes he left the house and did not return until late night. Janny worried constantly. She feared losing her son, not to the world, but to his own desires. Then, suddenly, the change came. Randy stopped arguing. He stopped asking about the house. He started acting kind again. He cleaned the kitchen, he repaired small things, he brought groceries home. Most of all, he brought tea every single morning. At first, Janny felt thankful. She told herself her son had finally understood. She felt proud. She told her coworkers, "My son is taking care of me now." But slowly, small, strange details appeared. Randy no longer let Janny make her own tea. He insisted on doing it himself. "If I'm home, I'll do it," he said. If Janny forgot to drink it, Randy reminded her. More than once. "Mom, your tea," he said calmly. Janny noticed that he watched her closely while she drank. Not like a caring son, like someone waiting. Her health continued to decline. She lost appetite, she slept more, she felt confused at work. Her supervisor noticed. "You should take rest," she said kindly. Janny nodded. At home, Randy seemed pleased when she stayed in bed longer. "Don't worry about work, you've done enough." Those words sounded caring, but something about them felt heavy. One evening, Janny heard Randy talking on the phone in his room. His voice was low. "She's weak now," he said. "It won't take long." Janny froze outside the door. Her heart pounded. She told herself she misheard. She had to be wrong. He was her son. That night, Janny dreamed of James. He stood far away, silent, looking worried. She woke up sweating. The next morning, the tea tasted more bitter than usual. Janny hesitated. Randy noticed. "Is something wrong?" he asked. "No," she replied, and drank it anyway. Trust is powerful. Sometimes it is dangerous. Later that day, Janny found herself staring at the house papers locked inside a drawer. She remembered how hard she worked for them, how many nights she stayed awake calculating expenses, how many dreams she sacrificed. She suddenly wondered, was the house the real problem? That evening, Randy sat across from her and spoke softly. "You should sign some papers," he said, "just in case." Jenny looked at him. "What papers?" asked Jenny. "Nothing serious," Randy replied quickly. "It's for safety." Jenny didn't answer. For the first time, she felt fear, not of the world, but of the boy she raised. She went to her room that night feeling weak, confused, and uneasy. She didn't know the full truth yet, but deep inside her heart, something whispered a warning. And that warning was right. Because Randy's kindness was not love. It was patience. And patience can be more dangerous than anger. Jenny started paying attention, not because she wanted to doubt her son, but because her body was forcing her to notice things her heart tried to ignore. Every morning followed the same pattern. Randy woke up early, he went straight to the kitchen, he made tea for his mother, always before she asked. He placed the cup carefully in front of her and waited. "Drink it while it's warm," he said. His voice was soft, his face looked calm, but his eyes never left her. Jenny noticed that now. She noticed how he watched her hands as she lifted the cup, how he relaxed only after she took the last sip, how he asked every single time, "Did you finish it?" At first, Jenny felt thankful, a good son looking after his mother. But then her health got worse. She started forgetting words in the middle of sentences. She felt her legs weaken while walking. Once, she dropped a book at work and couldn't remember why she was holding it. Her coworkers became worried. "You don't look well," one of them said. "You should see a doctor again." Jenny nodded, but she didn't go. She didn't want to worry Randy. That thought itself surprised her. Why was she protecting him when she was the one suffering? At home, Randy began acting more confident. He handled phone calls, he checked mail, he asked about bank papers again. "You don't need to stress about these things," he said. "I can take care of everything." Jenny felt something cold move inside her chest. She remembered the old arguments, the anger, the pressure to sell the house. Now, Randy didn't ask anymore. He waited. One afternoon, Jenny tried something small. She pretended to drink the tea. She held the cup to her lips, then quietly poured some into a plant when Randy turned away. That evening, she felt slightly better. Less dizzy, less confused. The next morning, she drank the tea again. By noon, her head felt heavy. Her heart raced. Jenny sat alone in her room, staring at the cup in her hand. A terrible thought crossed her mind. What if the tea is making me sick? The idea felt impossible. Randy was her son. She raised him. She loved him. She trusted him. But fear does not need permission to enter the mind. That night, Jenny heard Randy talking on the phone again. This time, she stood quietly near his door. "You said it would be faster," Randy whispered. "She's still alive." Jenny's breath stopped. There was a pause. Then Randy spoke again. "No, she suspects nothing. She trusts me." Jenny stepped back slowly. Her legs felt weak. Her heart felt like it was breaking into pieces. She locked herself in her room and cried silently into her pillow, not because she was sick, but because she finally understood. The change was fake. The kindness was not love, it was strategy. The next day, Jenny forced herself to act normal. She smiled, she thanked Randy, she drank the tea. Inside, she was terrified. She began keeping notes in a small notebook hidden inside a book. She wrote down dates, times, and how she felt after each cup of tea. She noticed a pattern. Every day she drank it, she felt worse. Every day she avoided it, She felt stronger. Randy noticed changes too. "You look better today," he said once, with surprise. Janny smiled weakly. "Maybe I just slept well." Randy watched her carefully. From that day, he stayed closer. He didn't leave her alone much. He insisted on handling her meals. He asked her to rest more. "You don't need to go to work anymore," he said. "You can stay home." Janny realized something frightening. Randy didn't want her healthy. He wanted her weak. One evening, Randy placed some papers on the table. "Just sign here," he said calmly. Janny looked at them. They were related to property rights. Her heart pounded. "I'll read them later," she replied. Randy's smile faded for a second. Then it returned. "No rush," he said, "but we should plan ahead." That night, Janny dreamed she was trapped in her own house. The doors were locked, the windows were closed. Randy stood outside, smiling. She woke up shaking. The next morning, when Randy handed her the tea, her hands trembled. She looked at her son's face. She searched for the boy she raised, but all she saw was a stranger, a patient, smiling stranger. Janny finally accepted the truth. Her son was not trying to save her. He was waiting for her to die. And if she didn't act soon, she would not survive long enough to tell anyone. Janny did not know how much time she had left. Some mornings she woke up feeling almost normal. Other days her body felt heavy, like it did not belong to her anymore. Her hands shook when she tried to hold a spoon. Her legs felt weak, even after resting. Randy noticed everything. "You look tired," he said gently. "You should drink your tea." The way he said it made her stomach turn. Janny smiled and nodded, hiding her fear. Inside, her mind was racing. She knew now. The tea was the reason. But knowing the danger and proving it were two different things. She needed help. That help came on a quiet Sunday afternoon. Wilma knocked on the door. Wilma was Janny's old friend, someone she trusted deeply. She was also a doctor, the kind who noticed things others missed. When Randy opened the door, his face showed surprise. "Wilma," he said. "Yes," Wilma replied with a smile. "I came to check on Janny." Randy hesitated for just a second, then he stepped aside. Janny felt a wave of relief when she saw her friend. They hugged. "You look thin," Wilma whispered, "and pale." Janny forced a smile. "I've been tired," she said. Randy stood close, listening. "I'll make tea," he said quickly. "It helps her." Wilma's eyes followed him to the kitchen. Janny noticed the look on Wilma's face, a professional look, a worried look. When Randy returned, he placed the cup in front of Janny like always. Wilma leaned closer. "What kind of tea is this?" she asked. Randy smiled. "Just herbs, natural." Wilma picked up the cup and smelled it. Her expression changed, just slightly, but Janny saw it. Wilma set the cup down. "Janny, have you been feeling dizzy, forgetful?" Janny's heart started beating faster. "Yes," she replied carefully. Wilma looked at Randy. "Can I speak with her alone for a moment?" she asked. Randy stiffened. "There's no need," he said. "I take care of her." Wilma's voice stayed calm. "I'm her doctor today, and her friend." The room felt tense. After a long pause, Randy nodded. "I'll be in the kitchen," he said. As soon as he left, Wilma leaned close. "Do not drink this tea," she whispered. Janny's eyes filled with tears. "I knew it," Janny whispered back. Wilma took out a small tissue and dipped it into the tea. "I can't test it here, but I know enough to be worried." Janny grabbed Wilma's hand. "He's doing this," she whispered. "My son." Wilma did not look shocked. She looked serious. "Janny, this is not an accident." Janny felt a chill run through her body. Wilma continued, "Your symptoms match slow poisoning, small doses over time." Janny's throat tightened. "He wants my house," Janny said. "He thinks I don't know." Wilma nodded slowly. "We need proof," she said, "and we need to be careful." That evening, Wilma pretended everything was normal. She laughed with Randy, she praised his care, she even thanked him for the tea. Randy seemed pleased, but Wilma was watching. She noticed how Randy controlled everything: food, medicine, mail. She noticed how he interrupted Janny when she tried to speak. She noticed how his kindness felt rehearsed. Before leaving, Wilma hugged Janny tightly. "I'll come back tomorrow," she whispered, "and I'll bring something." That night, Janny barely slept. She listened to every sound in the house. She locked her door quietly. Her heart raced whenever footsteps passed her room. The next morning, Randy brought the tea again. "You should drink," he said. Janny smiled and pretended to sip. Wilma arrived soon after. She brought a small test kit and a sealed container. In the kitchen, while Randy answered a phone call, Wilma moved fast. She poured some of the tea into the container. Her face went pale. "This is bad," she whispered. "What is it?" Janny asked. "Enough to hurt you," Wilma said. "Enough to kill you, slowly." Janny felt dizzy, not from the tea, but from fear. Randy returned. "Everything okay?" he asked. Wilma smiled politely. "Yes," she said. "We were just talking." But Randy looked at the cup. He noticed it was still full. A flicker of anger crossed his face. That night, Wilma insisted Janny stay with her. Randy protested. "She belongs here," he said. Wilma looked him straight in the eyes. "No," she said. "She belongs alive." Randy said nothing. As Janny packed a small bag, she looked around her house, the house she worked for, the house her son wanted. She realized something painful. The danger was not coming. It was already inside. And now that the truth was close to coming out, Randy would not stop easily. Janny did not return home that night. She stayed at Wilma's small apartment, lying awake on the couch, staring at the ceiling. Every sound made her jump. Her mind replayed everything. Randy's smile, the tea, the phone calls, the papers he wanted her to sign. She felt foolish. Not because she trusted him, but because she never imagined her own son could plan her death so calmly. Wilma sat beside her with a blanket and a glass of water. "You're safe here," Wilma said softly. Janny nodded, but her hands still shook. "I keep thinking," Janny whispered, "what if he realizes I know?" Wilma looked serious. "That's why we need to act smart," she said. "No rushing, no mistakes." The next morning, Wilma made several phone calls. She contacted a lab, she contacted a lawyer, and quietly she contacted the police. But Wilma was careful. "There is one thing we still need," she told Janny. "Clear proof that he is doing this on purpose." Janny closed her eyes. "He'll never admit it," she said. Wilma leaned forward. "People who think they've already won," she said, "often make mistakes." They created a plan, a dangerous one. Janny would return home. She would act weak again, confused, dependent. She would let Randy believe the poison was working. Janny was scared, but she agreed. That afternoon, Randy's phone rang. It was Janny. Her voice sounded tired and shaky. "Randy, I don't feel well. I think I need to come home." There was a pause, then relief. "I'll come get you," Randy said quickly. "You shouldn't be alone." When Janny returned, Randy acted like the perfect son. He helped her walk, he made her soup, he watched her closely, very closely. Wilma stayed away on purpose, pretending to be busy. Randy felt in control again. That night, Randy made the tea himself, stronger than before. He handed it to Janny with a smile. "Drink slowly," he said. Janny drank just enough to make him believe. Then she went to bed early. Wilma arrived late that night, quietly, using the back door. She took samples of the tea, she photographed the container Randy used, she documented everything. The next day, Janny pretended to collapse. She dropped a glass on purpose, she leaned against the wall, she acted confused. Randy rushed to her side. Fear flashed in his eyes. Not concern, fear as being too late. "You need rest," he said quickly. "I'll handle everything." That evening, Randy placed new papers on the table. "These are just safety documents," he said calmly, "in case something happens." Janny looked at them. They gave Randy control over the house. Her heart raced. She looked up at him with weak eyes. "Do you promise you'll take care of everything?" she asked quietly. Randy hesitated. Then he nodded. "I promise." Wilma was listening from the hallway. That was enough. The next morning, Randy increased the dose. Janny knew because her body reacted almost instantly. Her vision blurred, her legs failed her. She collapsed for real this time. Randy panicked. He called for help, but not an ambulance. He called a lawyer. Wilma stepped in. "No," she said firmly. "She needs medical help." Randy turned pale. The police arrived shortly after. They spoke calmly. They asked questions. Randy tried to explain. "She's sick. I was helping her." Then Wilma handed them the lab results. The room went silent. The officer looked at Randy. "Sir, can you explain why these substances were found in your mother's tea?" Randy's mouth opened. No words came out. For the first time, his mask cracked. Anger replaced kindness. "She deserved it," he shouted suddenly. "She wouldn't sell the house." Janny watched him from the couch. Tears ran down her face. Not from fear, from heartbreak. The police placed Randy in handcuffs. As they led him away, he turned back. "You forced me," he yelled. Janny whispered quietly. "No," she said. "You chose this." The house felt empty after he was gone. Too quiet. Wilma sat beside Janny. "You did the right thing," she said. Janny nodded slowly. She had survived, but the pain of betrayal would stay. Still, one thing was clear. Evil does not always come from strangers. Sometimes it wears the face of family. The house felt different after Randy was gone. It was the same walls, the same furniture, the same quiet neighborhood, but the air felt lighter. No more watching eyes, no more forced smiles, no more poison hidden behind kindness. Janny sat by the window every morning holding a cup of plain water instead of tea. She was still weak, but slowly her strength began to return. Her hands stopped shaking. Her thoughts became clear again. Her body started to heal. Wilma visited her every day. "You're getting better," Wilma said with a small smile. Janny nodded. "Yes," she replied, "but my heart still hurts." The truth spread quickly. Neighbors whispered, friends were shocked. People who once praised Randy could not believe what he had done. At the police station, Randy told his story. At first, he denied everything. Then the evidence spoke. The lab reports, the recorded conversations, the signed documents he tried to force. Slowly, his lies fell apart. During the court hearing, Janny sat quietly in the back. She did not look at Randy. She didn't need to. She already knew the truth. The judge spoke firmly. "This was not an accident," he said. "This was planned." Randy was sentenced. As the gavel struck, Janny closed her eyes. She felt no happiness, only peace. After the trial, Janny returned home with Wilma. She walked through each room carefully. This house was not just a building, it was her life, her work, her independence. She decided to keep it, not for money, but as a reminder that she survived. Janny went back to her job at the library. The books welcomed her like old friends. Stories of hope, stories of loss, stories of strength. She realized something important. People often believe danger comes from outside, but sometimes it grows quietly inside the home. One afternoon, Janny stood in front of a mirror. She saw wrinkles, gray hair, tired eyes, but she also saw courage. She had trusted, she had been betrayed, but she had not given up. Wilma joined her for tea. Real tea, safe tea. They sat in silence for a moment. "You saved my life," Janny said. Wilma shook her head. "You trusted your instincts," she replied. "That saved you." Janny smiled softly. That night, Janny wrote a letter, not to Randy, but to herself. She wrote about warning signs, about blind trust, about listening to fear instead of ignoring it. She decided to share her story, not for pity, but to protect others. Months later, Janny spoke at a small community meeting. Her voice was calm. "My son pretended to change," she said. "I wanted to believe him." People listened closely. But love should never make you blind, and trust should never silence your instincts. She ended with a lesson. If something feels wrong, pay attention, even if the truth is painful. The room was silent. Then people stood and applauded. Janny felt strong, stronger than ever before. She returned home that night, locked the door, and turned off the lights. She was safe. She was alive. She was free. Moral lesson. Sometimes the people closest to us can cause the deepest harm. Love should never mean ignoring warning signs. Trust your instincts, protect your boundaries, and never stay silent when something feels wrong. Because survival begins the moment you choose yourself.